Welcome to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, a show all about reviewing dinosaurs on a scale of 1 to 10 fossils before only the elite terrible lizards make it into the prehistoric cage match. This program is presented by the Stomp Chomp Roar Company and can be heard within all the rock layers across the planet. Grab your dinosaurs and your official scorecard because it's now time to dig for dinosaurs. Here's your Mesozoic host, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony.
Howdy all you dinosaur cowboys, cowgirls, and early birds out there. Wait a second, I'm the early bird. The early bird gets the worm though, right? Now it's only 7 a.m. here in Nebraska, and the birds are singing, and Dinosaur Ranger Anthony is podcasting away. And technically, birds are dinosaurs, right? So that means that dinosaurs are singing. Now, nonetheless, welcome back to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. Let's head back into the prehistoric aviary and review another soaring pterosaur. That's right, we're going back into the bird cage. Now, pterosaurs aren't dinosaurs, but they're like cousins. They're related by a common ancestor called archosaurs. Now, these archosaurs split or evolved into three groups of animals that we know: the dinosaurs, the pterosaurs, and those ancient crocodilians. Now remember, we last visited the prehistoric aviary in episode 15, and we took a closer look at that Dimorphodon, who we scored, that Rhamphorhynchoid, we scored a 3.2 on the official fossil scale. Now today's pterosaur is way bigger than that little Dimorphodon. This massive flying species would have been a marvelous sight to see gliding throughout the sky, or diving down in order to skim across the waters to fill its beak with fish and other marine species. Now speaking of fish, has anyone gone to a fish fry yet this year? My family and I have gone to a few over the last month. So shout out to the Knights of Columbus, Council 10160 for sponsoring those events, and Kim and Nino for always going and fish frying with us. It's been tons of fun eating all that fish, shrimp, pizza, mac and cheese, coleslaw, and all the trimmings. Now, junior paleontologist, we're talking about birds a little bit. We're going back into the bird cage, but what's your favorite bird that's alive today? I love the toucan and all their colorful bills. I can remember doing a report on the toucan all the way back in the 2nd grade in Miss Snowden's class at Norris Elementary School. I was a Norris lion, roar! So toucans, super cool birds, and they're my favorite ones today. What's your favorite? Maybe it's the cardinal, or the blue jay, or the robin, or maybe even the bald eagle. Well, you guys, let's go into a little bit of dinopreneur news before we jump into our review today. So do you have a species you'd like me to review on the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast? Then send Ranger Anthony a message on Facebook by searching Stomp Chomp Roar on Facebook, and you can send me a message and let me know of the favorite dinosaur species that you want me to review on a future podcast episode. Now, do you have a birthday coming up? We'll schedule a private virtual lesson all about dinosaurs and prehistoric life with, you guessed it, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony. See our virtual lessons on my website at stompchomproar.com. Now, a couple of quick shout outs, everybody. Happy birthday to Easton. We went and visited his 3rd birthday party last weekend. Had tons of fun entertaining all of his friends and siblings and family members at his birthday party. So happy birthday, Easton. Also, shout out to Kitty Academy of Elkhorn. We'll be visiting your child care center here in just about 3 hours to educate all your kiddos about prehistoric life. Also, a big shout out to all my junior dinosaur rangers as part of my Patreon club. We have 14 official members, and I can't thank them enough for helping support my small business. So if you guys want to become a junior dinosaur ranger, you can search patreon.com/StompChompRoar, and you can become a Triassic Squad member, a Fossil Hunter member, or even a Raptor Pack member. Each of them is a tier system. They come with different perks and activities, and I hope you guys check those out and become an official junior dinosaur ranger. Now, let's grab our scorecard, let's grab our binoculars, and let's grab our bird seed, because it's now time to do our next review on another prehistoric species. It's time to go into the bird cage. It's time time to open up the doors of the aviary and go on inside, because today's podcast is all about the Quetzalcoatlus. Let me grab my scorecard. Boom, there we are. We're in business. It's time to get out the bird seed. Throw it to your Quetzalcoatlus. It is the Aztec feather god. So this species of pterosaur is called the Quetzalcoatlus, and its name means it was named after the Aztec feathered god called the Quetzalcoatl. So the Quetzalcoatl is the name of the Aztec feather god. That's what they named this pterosaur species after, naming it the Quetzalcoatlus. Now this pterosaur, so pterosaurs are all the prehistoric flying reptiles from the Mesozoic era when dinosaurs lived. Now those pterosaurs can be split into a couple different orders or subfamilies. The Quetzalcoatlus falls into the pterodactyloid suborder or family, and that means those are the winged finger pterosaurs. These pterosaurs, the pterodactyloids, are from the Jurassic and Cretaceous period. They have short tails, toothless jaws, head crest, and an elongated wing finger, and we'll talk more about that finger here in just a second. So our Quetzalcoatlus is a pterosaur, then it's a pterodactyloid. Well, how big was this pterosaur? This pterosaur, the Quetzalcoatlus, is the largest flying animal ever found. That is right, it is the largest flying animal ever found to date. The Quetzalcoatlus had a 36-foot wingspan, or 11 meters. It also could get to heights of 15 to 18 feet high, or 5 to 6 meters high. Now, it is the largest flying animal ever found, but it only weighs up to 300 pounds. Remember, this thing still has to fly up in the sky. For being so big, it has to be still kind of lightweight, only about 300 pounds. Now, comparing the Quetzalcoatlus to a Boeing 737, those planes can be 110 feet long or 117 foot wingspan. So it would still take about 3 or 4 Quetzalcoatluses to be the size of a Boeing 737 airplane. But they still are magnificent. They still are the largest flying animal ever to be found. A 36-foot or 11-meter wingspan. That is just crazy, and up to 15 to 18 feet high, about the size of a giraffe that could be roaming around Africa as we speak. Now, how fast was the Quetzalcoatlus? What was its speed up in the air? Well, Quetzalcoatlus is coming in at about 80 miles per hour. So they're flying all throughout the sky. They can dive down towards the waters, getting at speeds up to 80 miles per hour. Now, when it's walking on the ground, it's walking in a bipedal stance on those 2 legs, but its wingspan is so big that when it's folding its wings are hitting the ground, almost making it into a quadrupedal stance. Now, the question for flying animals, how do they take flight? Do they run and then start flapping their wings? Are they able to run and jump off a cliff and start gliding? Or are they able to just vertically jump into the air and be able to start flapping their wings? And it's a big major discussion for our Quetzalcoatlus because it's just so big, that 36-foot wingspan. How does this thing take flight? Well, I think many scientists believe that maybe it could jump about 8 feet up into the air. So it's vertically jumping up into the air. That is allowing the Quetzalcoatlus to start flapping its wings and be able to clear the ground without hitting the ground. So jumping up into the air, start flapping its wings, then it's going to start getting up into the air. Now, when it's up into the sky, the Quetzalcoatlus is going to rely on those wind drifts to help make it glide throughout the skies over Pangaea during the Mesozoic era. So it's not going to be totally flapping its wings at all times. It's going to rely on the wind up in the sky so that it can go up to 400 miles a day. That's right. Quetzalcoatlus could go about 400 miles per day up in the skies over Pangaea. Now, what weapons or defense or other characteristics do our Quetzalcoatlus have? We already talked about this is the largest flying animal ever found, that 36-foot wingspan. So this is a big pterosaur, but it's lightly built. It has a small body with hollow weight bones. That's making it lightweight, that 300 pounds of weight like we mentioned. Now they have a fur-like fuzz all across its body, and on its legs, so from its feet all the way up to its hips, it's about 6 foot high. So 6 foot up at the hips, and then it has its small body. Then it has a 6-foot neck that gets us up to its 4-foot skull. Now its skull, it's toothless. It has no teeth like we see in some other rhamphorhynchoids. The pterodactyloids are toothless. They have no teeth. And then it has that long, thin beak able to get its prey out of the waters or out of the swampy mud. Now, part of its skull, it has a very large brain, and it has to have big eyes because being up in the sky, it has to see its prey down at the ground level. So the Quetzalcoatlus is going to use those large eyes to be able to pick out prey down below. Now, the Quetzalcoatlus also has that small head crest above its head, kind of like we see on Pteranodon, maybe using it as a rudder. There is a little bit of a theory that Quetzalcoatlus could use it as a rudder as well, but not as much. It's going to be more for mating, kind of like we see different colors on birds today. The Quetzalcoatlus could have maybe sported some different colors on that head crest and be able to tell each other apart in their species, or maybe some different colors so that they could attract a girlfriend and be able to populate this species even further. Now they have those wings. We know that the pterosaurs have those wings. Our Quetzalcoatlus, those 36-foot wingspan. Now their wings right here, they've got that leathery membrane that's helping make it aerodynamic. They're grabbing onto the air. They're able to flap their wings throughout the air. They're able to grab those wind drifts to go all throughout the sky. Now they got that leathery membrane, and then they have the elongated 4th finger. So our pterosaurs, our pterodactyloids like Quetzalcoatlus right here, they've got those 3-digit fingers about halfway through the wings. So in the middle of the wings, they have those 3 fingers, but then they have one more finger, an elongated 4th finger or 4th digit that goes the length of the wing, and it's at the very end of the tip. It's at the tip of the wing. They've got that 4th finger, which gives it that elongated 4th finger or digit at the end of the wing. Now, when they're down on the ground praying for food, they could have been maybe sifting through the waters or digging in the mud or in the swampy waters looking for all kinds of prey, fish and other marine type species. We also see evidence of our Quetzalcoatlus flying inland and hunting in the inland waters. So Quetzalcoatlus doesn't have to stay out in the ocean looking for food. It can come inland, find lakes, small ponds, river systems, and things like that to be able to hunt for food. Now, where did the Quetzalcoatlus live, and how long did this species live during the Mesozoic era? Well, our Quetzalcoatlus is coming in at 72 to 65 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. And it's found in Texas, which is in the southern Midwest, and it was found back in 1971. And it was named in 1975 by Douglas A. Lawson, a graduate student down there in Texas. So where do we put this creature on the fossil scale? Where do we put, it's very hard, you guys, putting the pterosaurs along with the dinosaurs on our official fossil scale because they're built differently. We can't, even though Quetzalcoatlus is number 1, I believe, at the top of the pterosaurs, I can't put it with number 1 at the top of the dinosaurs because it's so lightly built. It's only 300 pounds. A herd of Triceratops, Stegosaurus, or a pack of Utah raptors, Megalosaurus, Dilophosaurus, those guys could easily trample or bulldoze over our Quetzalcoatlus. Yes, Quetzalcoatlus might be able to scare them away with its huge wingspan, start flapping its wings, but if they realize how lightweight it is, how it's only up to 300 pounds, they could easily bulldoze over Quetzalcoatlus and it would be through. All the wings would be crushed into the ground, that leathery membrane pushed into the Mesozoic dirt, it would have been the end for it. So, I still feel confident giving it a good score. So the official score on the Dinosaur Review for Kids for our Quetzalcoatlus, we are going to give it a 7.4. 7.4 for our Quetzalcoatlus. Still a great score, but we just can't put it up above like Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Megalosaurus, Utah Raptor, and especially can't get it up there with T-Rex, Spinosaurus, and Kylosaurus, Brachiosaurus. Still very good though. 7.4 for our Quetzalcoatlus today, everybody. An amazing pterosaur creature. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and high five to all you guys. So who wants to take a ride on our Quetzalcoatlus? What do you guys think about when the Quetzalcoatlus attacks the airplane in that Jurassic World trailer? Wasn't it crazy? I wonder if I can take a Quetzalcoatlus on my vacation next month. Secret, you guys, we're going to California next month. I can't let my oldest daughter here because we're going on vacation. Do you think we can take a Quetzalcoatlus on vacation? Can I buy a ticket for that? Do bags fly free? I might have to call Southwest and see if we can take a Quetzalcoatlus on our vacation. But anyway, what is a quick joke, you guys? What's Quetzalcoatlus's favorite game? What is the Quetzalcoatlus's favorite game? How about Peekaboo? Peekaboo, we see you! Quetzalcoatlus, how can you not see it? It's just magnificent! It's the largest flying animal ever found, you guys. As always, my name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, the fabulous host of the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. And as always, keep digging for dinosaurs. We'll see you guys later. Bye now.